All the Juggalos in recovery.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and get the meeting started. So, hello, my name's Chris. I'll be running the meeting tonight. This is a Juggalos in recovery meeting. We're going to just get some shit done. There's no judging. Everybody's unique. Everybody can share, do whatever. So, tonight's topic is going to be about how we find appreciation in the bullshit that we deal with on a daily basis. So, how do you retrain your brain to appreciate the little shit, the small victories, the accomplishments you couldn't have had when you were using? I know that's something that I feel like all of us could really, use some help with being able to take a step back and really think about what it is we've accomplished, however long we've been on this journey, whether it be a couple of days to decades like I have been. I was like thinking back to when I was at my worst. I was scraping by with nothing. I never appreciated what little bit I did have. So now sitting back and looking at what I have all around me, gold plaques on my wall, cool shit all around me, adventures I'm on every other week, all of the fun adventures I've had to have over the last decade or so. I really thinking back to what I was like when I was at my worst. None of those things would have been possible. Even though this all started when I was at my worst. I, I was just thinking about this the other day because I was really sitting back and thinking, my life seems kind of boring to me because this is now routine to me. This is what I do day in, day out. But looking at it in the lens of the way I used to be, I've got a pretty awesome life. I've got a house. I've got a pretty interesting job. I get to do a lot of really cool shit. I own a lot of really cool shit. But how did you get to that point? For me, it was a long process. I know it really started with waking up that first day and appreciating the fact that I was sober for that moment. And how long that moment was going to last was ultimately up to me. There's triggers around us constantly, but it's nice to be able to sit back and appreciate what little things help us get through that day, whether it just be, something cool that we spent all of our money on that prevented us from buying our next fix, or sitting back and just relaxing and enjoying not doing a damn thing, because that was never really a possibility when I was at my worst. There was no sitting still for me. It was always move, 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 and get to whatever's next for me to get fucked up. I don't. Oh, where did you start? What's your little appreciation for the day? What is it that you can appreciate now that you would have never been able to appreciate before? I'll go ahead and open up to whoever's open to sharing. Anybody?
Yo, what up, Chris? I love this topic. This is like you said, like the song was saying, like bless me with the eyes of a satellite, right? I'm not always seeing the silver lining in everything, right? Life gets chaotic, life gets crazy. And I don't appreciate all the little small things, right? When I'm burdened with a whole bunch of other troubles, right? So it's trying to see the silver lining in whatever situation may be going on, right? Which is not always easy when life's chaotic. Like I could be ungrateful about whatever work, whatever, and not think about the fact that I get to come home to my house that I worked so hard to get towards with my fiance, soon to be wife, and my kids and my pets and all that good stuff, right? When I used to live in a freaking minivan and take showers out of a gym, and like you said, was just doing whatever to get the next fix, and like sometimes you get blinded, you know what I mean? And you take for granted all the good stuff that you have achieved, right? But that's just that defect of character of what you're saying, trying to retrain your thinking, right? So I try to look at the positive, and this is a good meeting for me today because today was rough. So I hurricanes coming, whatever. I took my mom to go shopping and went shopping for some stuff for the wedding, for my kid's birthday and my girl's birthday, and get my dad gets a call from my little brother, and he wants to go to detox, right? And I'm just like, fuck, this wasn't what I was planning, right? But the good thing is, it doesn't matter what my plans were for the day. I was able to. I drove around. We finally found him because his phone was dead. Picked him up and got him into detox. That's the good thing, right? Like I can appreciate that I finally got him help, and I hope this is the time that he gets it.
Right.
Because that's been a lot of added stress and stuff on the whole family's plate. So that's like something I could truly appreciate today. That maybe finally this is the time. No matter like the chaos I had to go through to get him and get him there, or the
Hmm.
weeks of stuff going on, the silver lining is finally something starting to sink in,
Right.
so,
And that's something that's so difficult for us, especially those of us that have had this for years. It's so hard to think back to what we used to be like and see this new level of appreciation that we have that we would have never had in the past. Being able to have that free time to go take your little brother into detox, be glad that you had that, learn to appreciate that. Because I know, like, my first probably 5 years, I resented all of the downtime that I had because, I had nothing to do. I had nothing to fill that void that I used to have. And it took me a long time to start appreciating downtime again. What was the first time that you learned to appreciate something there, Brian?
man, I'll tell you, before sobriety I didn't appreciate nothing. I took everything for granted. But I would tell you, when I first got sober, I was just happy to have like a shower and a house and a roof over my head, a pack of 305 cigars, not even
Mm-hmm.
cigarettes, a $825 an hour job, pushing a broom, like, and not be in prison. Because I mean, you've heard my story plenty of times, but I was facing 15 to life at one time. So I was just glad to be free. Like, if it wasn't for the judge having mercy, I wouldn't be free right now. I'd have never met you. I'd not be a part of this. I would have never met Frank. I wouldn't be here with my kids. I wouldn't be where I am today, because 15 years, and that was 2010. It's not 2025 yet. So
Yeah.
like, I'm more appreciative of everything because of that. But definitely when I went back out there, I lost sight of that, because of the chaos and the drama and stuff. But like, from putting in the work and the action and working on a program, like, everything came back into my life, and it came back tenfold, right? And anything's better than being in a prison, being told what to do all the time, and living out a little metal box. You know, that
Yeah.
changed your whole perspective on appreciating things. I just be happy to wear my own clothes. Y'all were like, how come y'all look, you're always like, so what did y'all say at the gathering? You always look so fly, or you're matching from head to toe. And I'm like, yeah, because I remember when I had the same color outfit I had to wear for 4 years, so I like to
Yeah.
feel like,
That's switching it up.
appreciative of what I got.
Yeah, no, I get that, and I appreciate that. It's a different perspective than what was available for me. And that's also important for learning to appreciate things, is you can look through somebody else's eyes and look at your own life and see how much better it is and how much more opportunity you have than a lot of other people around you. And then you can really appreciate your own situation a little bit more. Do you have
I
some
mean,
kind of lizard?
that's my beardy. That's my fat boy Draco.
Dope.
Yeah, so I mean, my little brother, he's at where I'm at, right? You know, where I was some years ago. He's at a detox. Everything's in shambles. No car, all this, and I hope he
Mhm.
gets out and puts in some work, and has to get it from the muscle and learn to appreciate all the things he has to work hard for. You know,
It's one of the hardest things because you never know where to start when it comes to learning to appreciate shit in a different light because you don't know what you have until you don't.
exactly, and you don't know how much you miss a friendship or relationship until it's not really there, and then we're kind of talking about it last meeting. Like I really appreciate like when I keep trying to help somebody and I see the help actually become fruitful.
Hmm.
And that's part of doing a service work and being sober is helping another person. And we see a lot of tragedy that way. And we go through a lot of pain sometimes that way. But for the ones that do start to become better and become more authentic themselves and start to find themselves on this journey, that brings such a sense of purpose and appreciation for life when you can see the impacts you play on other people.
Right. Now, I'm glad that we're covering this topic because I know it's something that I struggle with a lot because everything just gets old after a minute and you really have to think back and learn to appreciate what you have. And I know that's something that everybody struggles with because everybody gets complacent at some point. Not everybody can appreciate everything all the time. Josie, you haven't said anything that's meeting you up to sharing today?
Yeah, I'm just aggravated because my vape is dumb. I finally officially made coils of my own.
Hmm.
So that's kind of, in a sense, I could say this topic and talking about people hopefully getting help and how I'm so worried about people in Florida. I would say, yeah, this is I love you, but fuck you right now to a few certain people in Florida that won't get better because, haha, I can make coils, don't need your help with it. And hopefully they're okay and will actually come on one of these meetings or at least watch it and know that we're all still here and fucking give a shit.
Yep.
And how old is the lizard? That's another thing. Mine died when I was actually in labor with my daughter. I rescued one in Florida that was abandoned, left alone without heating things forever. I cuddled with it. I loved it. My son's cat slept in the freaking cage with the thing for some odd reason. And then the lizard died and the cat ran away. The cat's still technically in Florida somewhere, freaking running around where I used to live. And it's weird because that was my son's service animal.
That's a pretty awesome story. Kind of shitty, but still, you can appreciate the time that you had with
Shitty,
them.
but not because I would say at least me and the kids are still alive, and I know technically they're alive. They're just too stubborn and don't want to take anyone's help or support, even though there is people that are near them that could help them out, but they don't want to listen. They don't want to reach out. They don't want to talk. So it's on them right now.
Well, that
When
is,
they're ready, they're ready.
yep. You can't
Unfortunately.
force somebody to take help when they're not ready for it yet. You just have to always be available to give them your support. Because you can't force somebody to accept something they're not ready for, but you can always offer it.
Yeah, I just realized during this meeting when it was about appreciation, I was like, oh, I haven't pulled my beardy out in like a week and just chilled with him. So I'm going to pull him out and chill with him because I miss
You're
my dragon. And
mean.
he's right
You're
there.
mean. Sorry, not sorry, but that's mean. I know that's what actually hurt mine, especially when the weather was bad,
No, no,
because then I wasn't there.
my other half plays with him every day and takes care of him. He's just fine.
Yes and no, because I had my daughter was in the hospital for a while. Other person I was with still took the lizard out and took care of it somewhat, I should say. And no, the lizard was not fine. So yeah, it does need both people if it's attached to more than one person or it gets upset and too stressed out more than a human does. I
It's
know that's
definitely
weird to
her
say, but it
lizard, not
happens.
mine. Definitely hers, not mine.
Yes,
Um,
but still, it happens. Trust me, I
that
know. Been
that's
there,
the
done
that,
that.
that's the other thing, Chris. I appreciate the friendships that the people inspire me to do more and be better, and the people that speak the good energy in my life and that are a positive impact that I run across, like those kind of relationships
Hmm.
where you see them and you're like, damn, one day I'm going to be more like that person, or this guy's pushing me to do more and better than I was doing, or this person that calls me out on my shit.
Right.
Right. Those are the ones I need around, right? Because those are the ones that I can truly appreciate because they're the real friends, my real community, my real network, that
Yeah.
want nothing for but the best for me. Like those are the real people I truly appreciate today that I shouldn't, but I do. I hold them in a higher regard than most people.
It's one of those things like it's really important to appreciate situations that aren't great either. I appreciate all of the people in my life that have thrust responsibility on me because I would have never done this had we dropped the ball a couple of years ago and I ended up having to run meetings alongside everything else that I was doing. And I couldn't have done it without Ty that you're pushing me to do more online and Frank for letting us continue to do this. I appreciate all the shit, even though I'm not very good at it.
I feel you there, and it's just like my other job, working in the recovery community. There's a lot of bad stuff that comes with it, right? Thousands of people come in and out, but how many do I truly see succeed and overcome and go and do good with their lives, right?
Right.
Few and far in betweens, but the ones that do, you know,
Mhm.
or even the ones that slip up but are willing to come back and ask for help and take it, right? I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Like I truly do, even though it could be heartbreaking and depressing at times, or super stressful at times. Like at the end of the day, there's a bigger purpose behind it. And I can look past the bullshit for the good shit.
Right. We don't do what we do because it's easy. We do what we do because it is necessary. When there stops being a need for us to run these meetings, we'll stop running these meetings, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
You went all Star Wars there.
Yep. Now, as long as there's a need for us, we're going to continue to do this. I appreciate the need for us, but God damn it, I hate the responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, not all of us are social butterflies, so I get where you're coming from there, Chris. But it's
Hey,
like you said,
but.
it's a necessity. You know what I mean? It's necessary, right? We are the
Mm.
light and the positive impact that we are trying to help bring to our brothers and sisters and the ones that aren't our brothers and sisters, right? We're the
Right.
the hand trying to pull somebody out of the darkness.
Exactly.
Are you done yet? Can I talk for a second?
No.
So, why? That's not fair because I have a funny I fucked up thing today, which
Okay.
I'm gonna like.
I'll let you do it. You do the thing.
So, definitely I fucked up. Thankfully, I don't like people, but decided to talk today to people that cut grass because when I was making coils, I lost one of them. Anyways, with that, I found out they weren't mowing the area I was in because there's freaking poison ivy around there. Was not allergic to poison ivy growing up, but apparently if you vape poison ivy on accident, that can make you have anxiety and make your throat feel funny. So yeah, I fucked up and that's why I'm sitting in the middle of the freaking parking lot now.
I dig that story. I have a similar I fucked up for that one. When I was younger, I was clearing out this spot in the woods where we used to have fires and go drink. And I unintentionally threw poison ivy onto the fire and inhaled poison ivy smoke for like 3 hours and ended up in the hospital because my lung was filled with pus from poison ivy.
Do you appreciate that learning lesson?
I do. I hate it, but I appreciate it. I know
I
better now.
think that is another aspect of life and recovery and overcoming things is appreciating all the good and bad things in the past that have brought you to be who you are in that moment of your growth and change, right? Because without all those stumbling blocks, we don't become who we're truly supposed to become.
Exactly. Like as somebody who has fucked up a lot in life, I have learned from most of my fuck ups. Everything when I was in active addiction was a teachable moment for me. It was something I learned something valuable from. And most of it was I should probably just not do those things because I'm bad at it. But
That's not always true. It's not that you're bad at it. You may need to practice more or ask people for help to be able to do it. Haha.
Well, I
yeah,
was definitely not good at drugs and alcohol because that landed me.
No,
Yeah.
not that
some
one.
shit.
But anything else in the world. I
And
wasn't really listening. I was only half listening because I'm
I've
eating blue
tried.
coffee. So
I tried hard to win at using drugs and alcohol successfully. That did not work.
see, I was the racer. I did everything through the largest quantities possible for me. When I decided I had enough, it was after I had decided 2 gallons through a beer bong was the right amount. And that was
Eh,
not the case. That was definitely a teachable moment. And that's when I learned not to drink.
when you were playing the videos at the beginning, I was sitting back just reminiscing about my first gathering experience and getting goosebumps and getting teary eyed, especially
Mhm.
when Juggalo Island came on, and I was just like sitting back, like, damn, that was like one of the dopest weeks of my life. Like, I am so grateful that I was able to do that, and I would have never been able to do that in my drug and alcohol addiction because I would never been able to even make it out of Florida, you
Right.
know. And I was just sitting there like letting the spirit take over and getting a little, my eyes were getting a little moisture, no tears dropped though, but I could feel it like it was trying to come, and I'm getting goosebumps, and I'm like, I can't wait till the next time I could do that again. Like, I can't wait till next year, because
Oh,
that
yeah.
was one of the like most amazing experience I had that I appreciated so much, being able to go to do that, and for my other half to let me go and do that, and everybody being cool as hell with me going and doing it, you know. Because back when I was using, everybody been like, fuck no, you're not going, and if you go, you're getting fired, and if you go, we're breaking up, and you know, because they know how wild I was.
Yeah. I get that. Josie's got something to share.
yeah, I was gonna say I almost did start crying and started doing things and was not paying attention to the music or was at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is actually an island here that I made videos of that I still want to freaking figure out how to get to know what's on it, because I've seen people go past it, but no one go on it. And now there's a hurricane. So yeah, love the song, but hate the fucking song right now, because once again, I want to do something and have the motivation to do it. But I literally can't unless I want River to be an asshole.
Right. I know not everything that we want to do is in the best interests of everybody around us. So we just kind of have to deal with that part.
At least for now, because it will happen, because when it's calm, it's doable.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And when it's calm, you should do that. Just don't do dumb things right now.
No, I'm not going to. I respect water. I know better. I look at river from afar. I zoom in on water. I am never as close as people actually think I am to the freaking water. I do it safely. I know how. I like the rain. It's fun.
Yeah.
You see this? This is
I-
one thing that makes you appreciate life. Just watching, he's just having the time of his life. Look at that.
What is that? What is he
It's my
playing with?
That's my kid. He's just dancing around playing with a straw.
Okay. Dope.
My son did the same thing, and so did my daughter. Make sure you got devices charged to keep them entertained with music, though, if he's having fun with that,
Oh.
because that's gonna end badly. I know at times, been there, done that. It's
They're
fun, but it can also be hard.
they're prepared, that. And I think that's one thing we lose, though. Like, so you see that childlike spirit, right? He appreciates all the little things. He loves life, right? And I think, like for me, with my years of drinking and drugging use, like I quit appreciating the tiniest things. He's just like in there doing his thing, flipping a straw around. He's just living it up. And I lost that years ago from drinking and drugging. Like I'm, the tiniest things that I should appreciate, like having a car I can drive, which is kind of bigger, or like having a job, even if it ain't the best job, or just having like a sandwich and being happy with it. Like sometimes I lose sight of that, because like Chris was saying earlier, like certain things get boring when you get to this like routine, and it starts to feel like mundane and stuff, right? And it's kind of hard to bring that inner child out and let him just be who he is.
Yeah. And it's one of those things, like, especially as you get further along in the years, everything starts to blend together. It starts to get mundane. And you have to train yourself to really appreciate the little shit, because the little shit is, great. All of these little accomplishments that you see or you can appreciate every day add up to way more than most people expect it to be. Just having a roof over your head, or a meal for the day, or meals multiple times a day if you're super lucky, fancy people. But those are little shits to appreciate that most people will always take for granted. But unless anybody else has something to share, I think be a good time to end the meeting, unless somebody else wants to bring something else to talk about.
Be careful with weather. Try to
Mhm.
stay dry. I know it's not going to happen because you're going to play in it, but watch the wind. I was dumbass. I did not board up windows when I was there and had to deal with one because I was mad because it was my birthday. We had to be evacuated from our place and go somewhere else, and was not prepared because we weren't paying attention and watching at all.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on the East Coast below where it's supposed to go, so I'm gonna get wind and rain. So we didn't really shut her up, and I have impact windows, so
Okay,
I
that's
think
good.
I think I'm gonna be fine. And I was grumpy this morning because the first thing when I woke up before I even finished my coffee was being asked to move shutters and debris and stuff out of the yard, instead of being grateful that I have shutters and shit to move out of the way. I was like, fuck, I ain't even drink my fucking coffee yet, and I'm having to do 100 things. Like, put me in a grumpy mood. But like, I was just living in a halfway not too long ago, and I was just homeless not too long ago, and didn't have a thing to my fucking name left. But here I am being grumpy that I have to move stuff out of the yard.
Yeah.
Yeah, been
I
there,
dig
done
that.
that. It was my birthday when I had to
Yep.
deal with it.
Yeah. I grew up on an island, and we got hurricanes pretty frequently. So being grumpy at having to do any type of prep work for hurricanes is totally a normal part of life. I was always very appreciative that I had a boat, though, when we had more than 4-foot swell waters come through, because at least I could leave my house.
And I bet you were super appreciative on all the sunny, beautiful days on island.
No, I fucking hate the sun. It can rain
yeah.
all the time.
What?
True,
And I hate the cold.
I did meet you. I should know that your pasty ass does not like the sunshine too much.
No, that's why I moved to the north. I am
The north is
low in
evil and too cold. I miss warm. I'm gonna bitch about it because I'm from Maine and I rather have the sun and the heat than this nonsense of being stuck inside in snow. I rather deal with hurricane and nonsense in a sense, even though you can't keep my ass inside. But rain is easier to play in than snow
See, I
because snow is cold
disagree.
and deadly.
No, you can always put on more clothes. You can't always take off everything. You get arrested
Yes,
eventually.
but it's a pain in the ass to put on a million
I
clothes
mean-
because anyone that knows me knows I have to put on a million layers. Hell, I did it in Florida. I was wearing a hoodie in 90-degree weather. Yeah, I'm one of those kind of, it's too freaking cold.
Yeah, you sound a little broken with your heat regulation over there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I don't know.
ridiculous.
I'm a born and bred Floridian. When I was at the gathering, I definitely got cold, and it wasn't cold to other people from the Midwest and up north, but I was like hoodie and pants and like it's cold. And then, down here, I'm not gonna, gym shorts and a tank top. I'm appreciative to look scrubby and walk around, and that's a normal thing down here. And I could just get naked in my house and kick AC down to 65.
Ridiculous. It's 40 degrees outside right now. It's
I
perfect.
don't know what 40 degrees feels like.
I lived in
But
Ocala.
I'll
It
trade with
snowed there.
you.
I lived in Central Florida. I know what it's like there. It's not fun. I don't.
It isn't fun, but it's warm at least. And I met some cool ass homies there, even though some of them were fake and toxic, but some were awesome. So
Right.
yeah, I'd say up here is no fun because there isn't as many all the time. There is
Yeah.
some, but not all the time. And at least there was always someone if you needed something, they were a call away and they'd be there as soon as they could, or they'd call someone else to check on you until they could get there.
Now, Ellen, that's just the quality of people. Has nothing to do with your location, just the type of people that are around. Because I've been all over the U.S.
Not
and,
always.
yep, there's good people everywhere. You just have to find them.
There's
No, I
bad
know
apples in
that
every
part,
bunch.
but I'm saying in your circle, in your like immediate people that you have to deal with. Yes, there's good people everywhere. I could say that because had a car thingy problem today, not having red doohickey to check tire pressure. I forgot what it's called, so sorry for saying thingy. But I know you need one to check it properly because cars with computers that are basically robot cars, which are scary and you can't work on, are evil. But I'm done. I'll shut up now.
I know the whatchamacallit you're talking about. It's high pressure.
I fucking don't.
Thank you.
I'm so confused.
The tool to check PSI. If you go to a Wawa and you hook it up
Yes.
to the air thing, it
Yeah.
does it for you.
No,
Yeah,
that thing I know. I know what that one is.
the whatchamacallit.
Yeah, it's the tire thingy. But yes, with that, we're gonna close out the meeting. But this week, I'd like for everybody to just write down 10 things that they appreciate daily, just so you've got like an idea throughout a week what little bullshit that you actually appreciate.
Let me holler at you real quick after the recording.
Yeah. All right. Well, Josie, have a good night, and I will see you next meeting.
Yes, I'm gonna try to go check on some people. So whoop whoop. Love you guys. I'm
Whoop,
out.
whoop, love you too.